Hey everybody, and welcome to week two. The fact that you're watching this video means that you were successful in getting through week one, and I hope it provided some insight to launch these 6 weeks together. Week two is about barriers. Now, if I read the title to this week, I would probably think that there are going to be some lectures and information and PowerPoints and articles all about why we can't do what we want to do. What are the institutional barriers and how to overcome them? It's not that simple. You see, as unique as every institution is, university, workplace, K-12 school, they all have certain commonalities that form some of these barriers. And the truth is we don't really need to spend much time on them because these are institutional barriers for which you have very limited control. Budget. Now, unless you happen to be in a remarkably senior position at an institution, you don't really have any control over budget. You may have some input. So discussing these barriers in the sense that there may be budgetary constraints or that there are some senior administrators who don't believe in technology or there are other competing interests for faculty time. All of these are actually nothing particularly new, nor do they have very clever or direct or succinct resolutions to them. What we're going to spend a little more time on this week is really looking at that which you control, starting with your own attitudes and your own relationship to technology. Now, a lot's been said about digital immigrants and digital natives, and if you're looking at me in this video, you've probably figured out I'm what you call a digital immigrant. I was not born into a time in which computers existed, but I do go back a ways with them to some of the first boxes in the classroom called computers. And I got to tell you, after all of these years being around technology, education, and young people, I don't much subscribe or give any credence to this notion of digital immigrants and digital natives. These are terms that are useful only in a sense from a sociological perspective, not necessarily from a technology adoption or technology facility. Old people, like myself, are quite capable about learning about technology, integrating it into our life, and perhaps even making more critically insightful decisions about the use of technology because in a sense we lived at a period of time before technology, so technology is not the answer to everything. Social media is not all about the only ways in which we construct social interactions. So I can look at technology from a vantage point of perhaps seeing other alternatives that in fact digital natives can't. Now I've got two daughters, one a senior in college and one who graduated last year. And they're both fairly conversant with technology, use a wide range of tools, especially in the social media. They don't use some of the same tools I use. I have to send them a text or WhatsApp or a Facebook message to tell them to go read the email that I just sent them because they don't normally read email. But yet at the same time, when it's all about technology for some kind of special purpose, business, education, resources of a more serious nature, in fact, they come to help from me, just as I go to help from them when my iPod or iPad is not doing what I think it should, or I'm looking for a new app for something. So that conversation is really all about each individual. And we're going to start taking a look at your relationship to technology, how that relationship itself forms a barrier to you communicating with, adopting, and encouraging, and more important, understanding how and why other people's relationship to technology forms the primal barrier to their progress and adoption of technology. Now, we all know that people don't like change. I shouldn't say that. Many people don't like change. A few people love change for change's sake, just for the purpose of change. But for most of us, we tend to refine the way we do things. Not that we're lazy by nature, but we have a lot of competing interests. And so when you start talking to a faculty member, a professor, a business person, a trainer, a school teacher, about incorporating this technology, There are some fundamental questions, of course, that have to be answered. And the number one thing that has to be answered is what's in it for me? Now, of course, we're educators. So that means we can't really be as self-centered as that statement makes us sound, because generally underlying what we do is a care about our students, an interest in student learning. We wish to be more effective. We wish to be more efficient. But yet at the same time, we lead lives that are full, lives that are demanding. And so you've got to be able to answer this fundamental question for everybody, for the school superintendent, for the provost, for the dean, for the faculty member, even for the student. What's in it for me? And to understand how to answer that question, you've got to be able to answer it for yourself. You've got to know who you are and your relationship in particular to technology. Not just simple terms like, do you embrace it, do you reject it? That's far too simplistic. Technology is embedded in all of our lives, from the computers that control our cars to the ATM machine we get cash out of. Most of us don't think about the ATM machine anymore. We don't have a personal feeling about, I hate it, I love it. You just go there, you stick your card in, you get cash most of the time, if you have money in your account. But the truth is, we've got to go back to the beginnings. And the beginnings are ourselves. That's the piece we control. And if you understand in a deeper mode what your relationship is to technology, how you see technology in this world, you'll better be able to understand what those individual barriers are for other faculty, other members of the workforce in which you engage. And that will make you infinitely more productive as a change agent. I hope you enjoy this week. I'll be online to answer questions, and you'll see me appear in your discussions. And I hope that this proves as illuminating to you during the week as it was for me in constructing it. Thank you, and I'll be talking to you soon.